Game of Thrones, you better watch out. You finally got yourself some competition. Let's get into it. Hello there, Clapperheads, and welcome to a brand new edition of ClapperCorns. My name is Nick Dorian. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the new Hulu and FX series, Shōgun. Based on the famous 1975 novel of the same name by James Clavell, Shōgun fills that massive hole left behind by Game of Thrones. This is the epic series that we have been waiting for since the disastrous finale of Game of Thrones. Inspired loosely by actual historical events of when English navigator William Adams arrived in Japan during the Warring States, Shōgun tells the story of English sailor John Blackthorne, who washes up on the shores of Japan. His fate becomes inadvertently intertwined with that of Lord Yoshi Toranaga, who finds himself in a civil war for power. Stuck in an unfamiliar land with an even more unfamiliar culture, Blackthorne must now ultimately redefine himself and work together with Lord Toranaga, who's at odds with his own political rivals, and move past aside all those cultural differences to find a way to work together. Now, this isn't the first time this tale has been adapted for the silver screen. It was famously done in 1980 with the limited series starring Richard Chamberlain, which received majorly positive reviews as well as critical acclaim. But what makes this adaptation different from the original is the fact that they've had more time to really delve into the story of the novel and be more faithful to that as well. And what they've also done brilliantly is taken away that sort of white savior complex in a lot of tales like this and really focused on the Japanese culture. Unfortunately, we've seen many stories to come out of Hollywood that falls into that white savior category of films where a white man comes over, teaches them their ways, and ultimately becomes one of their people. But this sets it apart in so many ways. Through Shōgun, we get to learn a lot more of the Japanese feudal system and what it was like in 1600s Japan and that fight for power between the daimyos. This is less about Blackthorne's journey, but more focusing on Lord Toranaga himself, which is a perfect way through. We get to see that struggle he faces not only on a political landscape with his enemies, but on a personal level as well. And there is no better actor to take on this role than Hiroyuki Sanada. This man is perfect. Next to Ken Watanabe, Sanada has also become the go-to man for Japanese actors in Hollywood, and for good reason. His undeniable presence on the screen as well as his subtle, nuanced acting makes him a perfect actor for you to just grip onto and follow. Every time he is on screen, you are just transfixed on his acting and you just can't look away for a moment. And on the other end of the stick next to Sanada, you've got Cosmo Jarvis playing Blackthorne, who is a welcome addition to this whole tale. Jarvis brings this sort of old school English acting to the table, and it really feels like he's following in line with Chamberlain's acting as well. Not only does he have sort of this old English charm about him, but he has that gruffness as well that sort of juxtaposes the characteristics of him. Visually on a whole, Shōgun works so well. It is a visual masterpiece. You could tell FX and Hulu were throwing every piece of their budget at it, and it paid off so well. And combined with the musical score of Atticus and Leopold Ross, it combines everything together in a nice package to give us something that is so gripping to watch. Like I said before, since Game of Thrones ended, there's a massive hole of an epic story that we've been waiting for, and Shōgun definitely fits that bill. It is violent, it is explicit, it has a great story and great writing, and talks about very deep topics like political power as well as religion, especially between the Catholics and the Protestants. This is a series that is definitely going to get HBO worried and probably step up their game in trying to create something even more epic past this. But Shōgun is definitely one that you should watch as soon as possible. Very rarely does a series like this come about, and that's why I think that it should definitely be on your next watch list, because as much as I want to talk about it, it is something that you've got to experience yourself and be sucked into that world. So do yourself a favor, the first 2 episodes of Shōgun is now streaming on Disney Plus, with another 8 episodes coming our way on a weekly basis. Honestly, I could go on about this series for another hour, 2 hours, because it is just that good. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, because I would love to hear them. Let me know. And as always, you can check us out on all social media. It's all on the screen at the moment: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and of course YouTube. Go follow all those social media and subscribe for more updates. Thank you so much again for watching. I am Nick Dorian, and as always, keep watching the movies.